Just making sure everything's working. Sweet. So we are good to go. Uh, I don't usually live stream anything when it comes to doing stuff on the YouTube channel, but tonight I just kind of felt like live streaming, just because live streaming. Uh, so I want to build a PP-2000 again because it's been a while since I last built the PP-2000, and I have some new building techniques that I can use and whatnot. So I want to go through and remake the older one. Is what I'm trying to get at. So I'm just looking through some of the images here. Here's a logo one actually, right here, to see what I can do and whatnot. Um, Anyhoot. This is my website that I go to for all my gun info and whatnot. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and open up my older model because I do have an older model. I have one built, but like I was saying, I just have better techniques now that I can use to remake the weapon. Oh yeah, LDD needs to update. So I guess we're gonna update LDD, guys. So yeah, gonna wait on LDD to upload now or update now. It's gonna take forever. So we're gonna go ahead and since we gotta wait on LDD to update, we will go ahead and read through everything here. I don't want this to go away. Um, I might as well read this out loud to you guys because this is going to take a while, obviously. The PP-2000 is the latest development of the famous Instrument Design Bureau KBP from Tula, Russia. It has been first displayed in public in 2004, although the patent for its layout has been filed in 2001 and issued in 2003. Today, mid-2007, it is already in use with some law enforcement, police and state security units of Russian Federation. The main niche for the PP-2000 is a personal defense weapon for non-infantry military personnel, as well as close combat weapon for special forces and special law enforcement teams. As such, it is a compact weapon with as few parts as possible for enhanced reliability, simplified maintenance, and low cost. Also, it is designed to fire any standard 9x19 mm ball FMJ ammunition, as well as +P+ class 7.31 armor-piercing ammunition of Russian origin. When loaded with 7.31 ammo, PP-2000 offers enhanced penetration against body armor while maintaining stopping power against soft targets, which is believed to be superior to foreign small-caliber rivals like 5.7 mm FMP90 or 4.6 mm H&K MP7. The PP-2000 is a conventional blowback-operated submachine gun, and it is fired from a closed bolt for enhanced accuracy. The bolt is telescoped around the rear part of the barrel. The front part of the bolt is exposed above the barrel and is fitted with side-folding charging handle. The receiver/housing is made from polymer as a single unit with pistol grip and trigger guard. Trigger guard is enlarged and its front part is shaped to provide front hand grip. The magazine housing is located inside the pistol grip. Housing for spare magazine is located at the rear end of the receiver, and when inserted, spare magazine is used as a crude shoulder support buttstock. Although an optional removable side folding butt is currently offered with the gun. Safety/fire mode selector is conveniently located on the left side of the receiver above the pistol grip. PP-2000 is fitted with fixed open sights, and a Picatinny type accessory rail is provided on top of the receiver cover. This weapon is most often encountered with various types of red dot sights, best suitable for close combat. Special mount permits installation of the tactical light or laser aiming module below the front part of the enlarged trigger guard. So that is the PP-2000 bio, basically. Um, the good news is we are at the basic tail end of the installation and whatnot, which is awesome because now we can get on to building the weapon after it finishes its entire download. Because here's the weird thing about LDD. When you go to update, it basically just deletes LDD and then remakes it. It's really weird like that. I don't know why. It just does. Um, so uh, I can go for a little bit of story time, I guess. So uh, I guess we'll talk about LDD in general. LDD a while back had a huge fallout. Uh, Lego basically told the people who um, create LDD and whatnot that they were no longer going to supply LDD, the company that provides LDD money. They're not going to support them anymore. So LDD was no longer going to get any more updates. That decision was reverted because of the LDD community basically giving everyone outlash against LED itself, which is or Lego itself, which is really good. Like I'm so happy that people came together and they pushed Lego into basically coming out with another update for the program itself, because there are over like I want to say 1,000 new elements in this LED, which is really awesome. So now I have more pieces to experiment with and do everything with my weapons, which I like. So a little bit of story time right there. Just so you guys know, LDD was on the verge of being canceled with no more updates. It was still going to be available, it was still going to be free, but there weren't going to be any more updates to it. I don't know why I can't connect to the internet. That's interesting. I probably should have checked LDD before I even started the live stream to get it up and working so that you guys wouldn't have to wait, but we figured out something interesting about the PP-2000 for the most part. So yeah. Well, this kind of sucks. Um, Basically, the PP-2000 is the Russian equivalent of the MP7 or FMP90, which is what it's basically saying right here. Because the 7N31 armor-piercing ammunition that they're talking about is supposed to be really good for defeating body armor and whatnot. I guess my LDD decided to quit on me, which is fine, I guess. Um, some of the features that were obviously in there that we could talk about. Try to find a good image. Oh, this one's pretty good. Here's our fire selector right here. It's obviously one that you operate with your thumb. You can push it up or down. It's kind of like an AK-47s from the looks of it, basically. The rail is up here. The charging handle is this portion right here, and this is the operating rod. The charging handle folds straight like a G36 so that it doesn't get snagged on any of your gear, which is why you're seeing a lot of the curves here. There's no sharp edges on the outside of the weapon itself. And the reason for the curves is so that it doesn't get snagged on any of your gear when you draw it uh, out, basically. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm going to open up my original PP-2000, uh, and then we're gonna go ahead and delete the buttstock. I don't want to make the buttstock again because I honestly don't like the buttstock. I like it as a standalone pistol. So we are going to take and redesign this into a much better PP-2000. So I don't need this page anymore because I've read up the information on it. We might as well use this image because it's a fairly, oh God, it's a fairly big image size. So it's not going to look bad when I zoom in on it, which I will be doing for like details and things like that. Like this is good size. The hard thing about the PP-2000 and in Russian the P's are ins, you can see here, is this grip design basically. Like I honestly don't know how I'm going to do the grip design. I'm probably going to do it straight up and down again, but I want to do it like how I did it with my um, Uzi Pro, um, which is going to be kind of difficult. This can be done though, so do not fret. We can do this. You guys are going to be along with me for the experimentation though, because I don't know how I'm going to accomplish this entirely just yet. So if I put that like that, we have enough room for a, a magazine to basically slide in here, from what I understand from friends and things like that who do this all the time. Like if we put that there, oh, we don't have enough room in there. Okay. Um, well then, that is a problem. That kind of puts my plan in a pickle. If you have an idea for the grip, let me know about it. And I'll see if I can run with it or understand how you want to use it. Um, because I had an idea in my head, but apparently that's not going to work out the way that I wanted it to. Um, I was going to do it kind of like how the Future 83 did his like experimental grip, where he could do with like a 3 stud wide magazine, but that's obviously not going to work. So if you have an idea for the grip, I'll see if I can't use it. Um, what am I doing? I could have just I could have done it. All right. I don't know why I brain farted right there. I could just do that basically, and then I want to say that these are like three. No, they aren't. All right, never mind. Uh, Ranger, I have a lot of oops, I have a lot of experience with the program. I can do complicated designs with LDD. I just, I've been around with it since uh, it was like a really, really young thing and no one had ever heard about it in the Lego community. It's the interesting part. So I'm used to LDD's quirks and whatnot. The only issue is like you can do things in try three studs. Oh my gosh, I can't type. Make the grip completely straight until you get to the curve, and then you get the three up angle pieces. Okay, so if you're talking about the three up angle pieces, then you're probably talking about these right here, right? Just to confirm what you're talking about. I should probably have chat in like a separate window or something, because that'd be helpful, but so then I don't have to keep going back and forth. The opposite way. So you mean, oops, these. So like if we get down into like the front of the grip, so say the gun is facing the way that it is right here, it get down into the front of the grip like that, basically. Okay. If I go with a three stud wide magwell though, I can't use these pieces because if I'm going with the three stud wide magwell, it's going to be using bracket pieces and whatnot, and that's going to be a little bit of an issue. What I'm thinking about doing is trying to get the grip to the point that it's like it's really hard to explain. I'm trying to get this so that it's lifelike, but it's not too big in your hands. It's not an extraordinarily fat uh, in your hands, basically. So if I did side panels coming down off of here, I could get the like the curves going in around these panels that you're seeing. Um, but it's the issue of getting the side panels coming down without it being too weak, basically. So what I can do is work with Technic pieces. I don't usually work with Technic pieces, but it can be done, and it can be done expertly. So I'm going to come around here, and I'm going to take a look at the Technic pieces to see what I can use in here to kind of get the design that I want. I could obviously use, where is it at? They've moved things around on me since LDD just uploaded, so it's going to be kind of hard finding pieces. There it is. I could technically use these pieces. Is there a different style of this piece though? I've seen Fire Scorpion build guns before, but I don't think I remember his PP-2000. I don't want to copy anyone either. Um, I know he does make instructions for all his guns though, and the way he makes instructions for his guns is pretty interesting as well. Mm,
Oh, oh.
Yeah, that's too straight up and down for me. I don't, I want it to, yeah. Um, this is the woes of being a Lego builder. There's so many parts that you could use and whatnot that you just, what am I doing? Oh God, arrow keys got all wonky on me. So this could be the start of a grip design. The issue with doing something like this is that I need at least, if this, there, I want this ridge going along here. So this is going to be this is going to have to be a certain amount of studs compared to this up here. So what if we say we design the grip from top to bottom? I'm going to make the grip 4 studs wide. I'm going to make the receiver 5 studs wide. I don't need that page anymore. I don't want to go too difficult with the angle. I'm going to go ahead and just go, I'm going to plate up it, basically, like this, so that it's just a very basic angle, and it's not going to be too difficult. That's obviously the magazine release there, and it's going to be right below these pieces here, but it's not going to be inside the curve of the trigger guard. It's going to be right behind the curve of the trigger guard. So that said, I'm going to leave this space open here for the magazine release, which I can use Christopher Hopman's magazine release for, basically. I'm going to make the start of the curve trigger guard, and then after the curve of back down here, I'm going to need some room for a plate, so that's just going to be a placeholder for now. I know the other way of making handles on the M4. I don't want to do that because of the CUDA. I do have real Lego pieces. I have a whole closet full of that, but I don't have any more useful gun pieces because I have, like, my room is full of Lego guns right now. I have a video on my channel of it somewhere if you want to go check that out. So I just don't have the available pieces that I need to make real guns with anymore. I need to go get some more, like really bad, but this is the other way that you're talking about. I guess I can try messing with this because it just won't be too bad. Um, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it in the end though, because of the difference in size between here and here. Because I want to make this upper receiver part here 5 studs, and then this lower receiver part down here 4 studs, so that it just kind of works with one another. Um, so I'll avoid doing the grip for now. I'll do the upper receiver because there's a new piece that was recently added that I really want to mess with the upper receiver, and it's this piece right here, which is a really nice curve. So 5 stud wide, like so, and I want to see if these pieces can close off the back of it good enough. And no, they don't, which is a problem. Um, because if they don't close off the back of the receiver good enough, then I'll have to build this little section right here to like completely upside down. Because, okay, this little lip here is going to be 5 studs, but this section right here where the main housing of the bolt and stuff is going to be 4 studs. Is what I want to do. But we can kind of cheat and do it the more basic way. Um, you know what? I'm not going to do it the basic way. I want to challenge myself. And to challenge myself, that means building things upside down, like they're not supposed to be built, basically. So I'll challenge myself for the sake of challenges. I'm going to place placeholders here and there. Um, this angle here, these are only too high, and the angle stops basically at the bottom of where that is. So I'm going to go ahead and just place these along the back. Build up a wall like so. You can see that like just the top of a curve right there. So I'm going to use these pieces in particular. And the reason I use these pieces is because these two pieces are going to connect to one another, and then these two pieces are going to connect to one another. It's going to strengthen it up. And then I'm going to come in with these threes and strengthen it up more, and then throw this on top so that it all binds up together to give it some more strength. Okay, so I basically now got to make the 4 stud wide part of it. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and throw down all the jumper plates that I'm going to be using basically. I don't know how long it's going to be. I'll probably go out just another 4 studs. It probably won't be that long. Who knows, but we'll see. I could destroy some gums, you're right. The issue is I really don't want to because I'm attached to it. Ranger, unfortunately, the 1x3 won't fit in there. So sorry about that, but that won't work. What I'm planning on doing is basically just taking this up 2, throwing down one of these, and then using these pieces here, which seem like the same amount of curve, and going like that up into it, which can be done. But instead of using these, I need to use these because this stud here is going to interfere with the back section of it here, which can be a problem. So, mm, the other thing is that this piece here is 3 studs, and it won't work with the amount of space that I have. Yeah. So that's basically the same curve. So we'll see if we can get it the proper space apart to get it. I think one more stud might be too far. I have airsoft videos. I still play airsoft, but the camera that I use hasn't been really not so much like not working lately, so much as like I'll hit the record button and then a few seconds later it'll stop recording for no reason. I don't know why it just does it. It kind of have its like own mind when it comes to recording airsoft videos. So it's really difficult to get any footage uploaded onto the channel now because of that. So that's the reason I don't upload airsoft videos anymore. Um, and plus I started running with a team and running with a team as well. We have our own dedicated team airsoft channel. So there's the angle that I needed, by the way. That's the exact distance that I need. And then the two bricks or the two plates underneath here are going to have to be plate pieces and whatnot. So yeah, job well done. The problem is this right here does not work out good at all. So I'll have to mess around with that. The other thing is this part here is higher than that, which means I need to take this angle up a little bit more. So if I'm going to take the angle up a little bit more, I'll switch out these back pieces for the threes. And I want to say yeah, the threes were the ones that I used on the older model. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did before and use these pieces. Like so. Just so that I have that angle that I wanted right here, but I still have the shape of it down. Um, why is it going to be 5 studs wide? Because there's a ridge running along here, and there's a ridge running along here. And to get that ridge in there, I'm going to make this part of the receiver 5 studs, and then this 4 studs, and this 4 studs, and that'll have the ridge in it, just for added detail, basically. It'll look better, is what I'm getting at. Um, I need an image of the shell ejection port and where it's at. So I just need to find a way to close off this back end and make it look good, and we will be set with that. Hopefully this works. Yeah, yeah, okay, that's a problem. And it's going to take me a while to figure out how to get around that. Um, this is the angle that I want. I don't want to get rid of the angle, but the angle is currently messing with how everything is going to work out in the long run. Because this happens. There's a little ledge right here that I don't want, technically. And in order to get rid of the ledge, this piece would have to be up here, but I believe that that doesn't work out with these pieces down here. Because in order for the 3 studs wide, this piece would have to be gone, or this jumper piece would have to be gone, and this would have to be right here. And then we have to have 2 more bricks coming down like so to get it flush once more, which is not ideal in the slightest. Um, try your best, Ranger. Um, I'll see how we do it, how you do describing it. A good way to describe bricks is that they all have sizes. It's down here in the corner. The first one is this direction, so 1 is that way, 2 is going to be this way, and then 3 is going to be how high it is. So it's going to be length times width times height, so 1 by 2 by 3. So if you are trying to describe slopes and stuff like that and whatnot, or bricks and whatnot, that's how you do it. If you're describing these types of bricks here, this is a 1 by 1 by 1 with a knob on the side, with 1 knob on the side. This is going to be a 1 by 2 by 1 with 4 knobs on the side, and that's just how you describe these types of bricks. So just try your best. Uh, yeah, I agree. It's a challenge, and that's the big part to it, is that it's a challenge. That's what makes it fun. basically. That's what I really like about it. Um, Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete all of that right there, all the way back. And I'll carry all of this forward. That's about where I stopped on the other model, so that's about where I stopped there. I see that there's a curve coming down off of that. And a way that I could do that is obviously doing this, that, 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 and that. And that still lets me put plates all the way down through the bottom, like so. The shell ejection port is somewhere on this side of the receiver. I'd say from here to there, and we'll go delete that one just to make it almost 4 studs. Um, you can see that it's got a kind of like an oval going on with it. So if it's got an oval going on with it, I want to try to do that. This would be the best piece to use, except I need the bigger 4x4 version of it. This piece, because that's like the perfect circle. But I don't have enough room down here on the bottom to do that, which kind of sucks. So this is mainly how building with Legos is. Trial and error. You have to go back and forth and keep looking at different things and figuring out how you might be able to do something. The cheese wedges? See, I could use the cheese wedges. The only issue is it only work on this front part right here. So let's say I go for the cheese wedges. They have to have studs on the bottom of them. And the only part that has studs on the bottom of it is this part up here, which means I'd have to turn somewhere back here these around. And the way I'd turn it around would be using that piece right there. The issue with using that piece right there, hold on, all right, well, we might be able to do this, hold on. The issue with using that piece isn't that, like obviously the shell ejection port is now a circle like we want it to be. The issue is this piece doesn't line up now at the bottom down here basically. So we put that there and that there, and then we take and we extend this out because that's where part of the receiver is going to be. There's a gap right here, and that gap is something that we want to avoid. So to avoid the gap, we would technically turn this piece sideways, like so, to turn that around. But now we have this piece sticking out here, and we don't have room for the bolt to travel back and forth, which is an issue. If you're talking about these pieces here, LED doesn't let you put that inside of these blocks here. Like, I know you can do that, and it'd be great if LED let me do that, but unfortunately I just can't, which really sucks. Yeah, it does suck because that's a method that I use all the time in real life, and you just can't use it on LED. Um, it's balls, I know. If anything, I'll just leave it square like it is. The reason I extended out the receiver like this is because now I can keep messing around with this right here until that happens, and now we have it flushed like that. So that's good. This is what we wanted to happen. So that piece right there is the proper distance that we need between everything so that everything lines up where it should be. So one, one. So basically like right before we get to, aren't you, aren't you going in? Right there is going to be where everything needs to be. So we still have enough room for our shallow ejection port, which is good. Even if we didn't, I could just move the shallow ejection port forward. But now we've come down to the issue of how are we going to make the shallow ejection port curved like we need it to be. Um, so, yeah. I can see a little bit of a curve going on through here, but I want the tactical rail to be 3 studs wide. Um, so the ideal thing to use would technically be these cheese wedges, but that is somewhat of an issue. I need this to end perfectly and or semi-perfectly. That's semi-perfect. Um, I'll just take this out one more like so, so that it curves up like it should. So that's the curve. It doesn't go all the way forward. And it kind of has a weird kind of curve into it. Like a curve up right there. which is kind of weird. I don't want it to be too distracting, unfortunately. Like, I just, I don't want it to be ugly, and I personally think that's ugly. So I'll just do that and throw that on, and throw that on. Just to get it, because this looks flat, and then I just want like a small curve. I don't want a really big curve just yet. I'm going to do the jumper plates for the rail system. Go ahead and delete that because I know that the rail system's going to. Yeah, I don't know. My stream cut out. I apologize about that. Um, I don't know why it cut out. It just did. Sometimes I think it has a mind of its own. So I apologize. I'll leave it like this for now, basically. Uh, I know a way to turn these bricks around, especially here. The issue is it involves using this piece here. And the issue with using this piece here is that this is a circle in the side of a square receiver, which is a problem. That's not something that I want to do. just seems a little too short for me. Oops. The other thing is this technically isn't connected to anything, which is an issue. So now it's connected to something. That's good. That means I don't have to bridge the gap between this and this. I could I could technically leave the shell ejection port that big because that's basically how big it is, and I can go digging for like endless of amounts of hours looking for some form of wedge piece that would look decently okay as our circle piece right there. Like the square basically, or what? How? Like which? Like should I keep it the way it is right now and just like put a smooth part on it, or should I put some form of cheese slopes on the studs that I can? Um, I'll take a peek at how it looks real quick. Yeah, I shrunk it down too much. I'll throw a smooth tile on it for now. I'll leave it like it is, like this. Um, so as of right now, this isn't connected to the receiver like it should be, um, which is good because now I'm able to do that and make that all one color. I'm gonna hide these pieces here, and I'm gonna go ahead and the bolt only needs 4 studs worth of room to slide back into to cycle properly, like the weapon should be able to, which is easy to use and or see basically on these tiles right here. So our ejection port ends here. These are the 4 studs that it's going to need, which means I have 2 studs to connect this piece back into here with to make it incredibly solid. So to do that, I'm just going to take a 2x6 and run it back like this, and then jumper plate from the 2x6. I should also be working in this blue color. From this up, basically, to here. Ooh, I didn't think about that. That is a problem. Since this entire assembly is built sideways, uh, it is not high enough. Hi to you, Denislav Dimitrov. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. My Russian is pretty bad. So you can tell me how bad I screwed that up. I probably screwed that up a lot. So I apologize if I screwed that up a lot. I don't mean to. Just us English speakers have a huge time with Russian names in particular, or not even just like Russian names, because that could be Yugoslavian, that could be Czechoslovakian, that could be a lot of things um, that I just don't know, basically. So yeah, see, all right, this is going to be kind of difficult to do. It's got to connect to the receiver somehow, basically. If it doesn't connect to the receiver, then it's just going to be like floating there, and I can't have it just floating there because if it's just floating there, we're going to have an issue with stability in some way, shape, or form. Um, I have room to go down with it, so we're going to keep going down and see if we can get the proper measurement between them all or not. Um, Obviously not like that because the studs don't line up between the bricks like it should. I, I want to say this stud lines up with that one, so we'll see if it lines up there. Okay, yeah, see, so this doesn't, there's a gap right there, which we don't want. I'm actually making the PP-2000 right now. That's the funny thing. I'm working on the upper receiver. And how is Bulgaria? Like, I just, like, our, the most stereotypical question is how is the weather in Bulgaria? Is it just cold there all the time, or do you have a summer where it thaws out and it gets decently hot and you can go play in like a river or something like that? Like, how is living in Bulgaria? Because the issue with Americans is that we're really sheltered and we don't know what it's like to live in other parts of the world because we're spoiled all the time. Um, so I just want to know like what is the daily life in Bulgaria? It'll bring up like interesting talking points and stuff to talk about in particular because I know snow is like a huge thing in other parts of the world. But I live in Florida, which is pretty close to the equator, so I don't get a lot of snow. So asking other people about their journeys in snow lets me know exactly how bad and or good snow is, basically. So, all right, this isn't going to work out the way I want it to. I guess I could just take like a bunch of 1x3s like that and go ahead and convert down from 3 to 2 and basically just keep going down until everything lines up the way it should. See if I can get anywhere. I don't think I can because the gaps aren't increasing in distance between them. They're not fluctuating back and forth like they should be. Okay, so how cold does it get and how hot does it get? Um, in Fahrenheit preferably, by the way, because I know the rest of the world uses Celsius and whatnot, but I'll be honest with you, I don't understand Celsius at all. I understand like 32 degrees Celsius is like, or 0 degrees Celsius is when water freezes, and that's like 32 degrees Fahrenheit. But other than those numbers, I couldn't tell you if it's hot or cold in Celsius. So just like, yeah. This is kind of a pain in my ass. Um, I'm trying my damnedest to get this right, but it's not easy. I think that is actually going to get us somewhere if I can figure out the correct distance between there and there. And then if a bracket piece fits in there, we are set. There we go. All right, so now that this is technically connected. This is connected like it should be, which is good. But I'm not going to trust this one joint to connect to the other, like, entirety of the receiver, which means I'm going to have to expand this downwards and then take these downwards as well. And then to reinforce these, I'll use this plate there and a plate there. These are the four studs, so I have more room to work with, so just to give it a little bit more strength, I'll go ahead and have enough room for two plates. That's it. Oh, that sucks. So I guess I'll do that and then that just to make it a little bit more beefy, and then that's still a little bit more than four studs, so I'm good. That's good. We're good. Why is this open? I don't need that. Why are you open? I don't need you either. Go away. Dropbox, no, go away. Uh, so I don't know how either Ranger, but it worked, so we're good. We're good. That's all that that's all that matters at this point. We're good. We're just gonna keep going. Um, Bulgaria sounds a lot like Tennessee. I used to live in Tennessee. I lived in a small town of Maynardville, Tennessee. It's 30 minutes outside of Knoxville. I know, like, saying that to a Bulgarian is probably like saying weird things to other people who don't know much about the United States geography, things like that. So basically, in Tennessee, we had four seasons as well. Um, we had two that were cold and two that were hot, like you were saying. One of them was mildly cold. We didn't get much snow. The other one was decently cold, probably not as cold as it gets in Bulgaria. Um, and we got hefty amounts of snow and rain and things like that. Then we came into another season where we didn't get much of anything in terms of like rain and snow. All we got was really sunshine and stuff like that, which wasn't bad because then you get to go play in the water parks and stuff like that. And then we had like scorching hot summer. So I personally like that weather. That's just me though. I know a lot of people who just don't like. I should have room for the bolt because the bolt is going to be sitting here on these four studs. This one, this one, this one, and this one. Now then, if the bolt is going to be four studs wide, then behind it has to be another four studs. And I can tell that there's another four studs by using these 2x2 plates right here. So one stud, two stud, three stud, four stud. So I have plenty of room for the bolt to go backwards. Plus this is entirely hollow. It doesn't have to go back more than four studs. If there was going to be like a bolt catch or something like that, like in an M4, I probably wouldn't have enough room for any more mechanisms, things like that. So this works. It just does. Um, I got lucky for the most part when it came to connecting the back of the bolt. Um, I don't usually mess with those pieces because they're like they're not good for doing. a lot of what I just did basically. Um, you don't really want to use those pieces because they throw everything off with certain angles and things that they're at because of how they indent, but considering it just paid off really well for me, I'm pretty happy. So yeah, that worked out pretty great. Proud of myself. Um, this is the back plate. This magazine, like this little bottom plate of the magazine that you see down here, slides into here, and you can use it as a buttstock. I don't plan on making this. I'm just going to leave the whole back end of it flat. So if we're leaving the back end of it flat, I need to carry out this angle outwards. Um, this is a 12 and that's a 2. That makes 14. So we can just take a 14 and run it in through here just to give it a little bit more strength. Um, I want to jump down to 4 right in front of here because of this, but I'll probably do that later-ish, sometime in the future. What should we do? I guess we'll do the back part of this ish somewhere back over there. Yeah, I know. I can't believe it either. Um, that's why you keep messing with it over and over again, and eventually you get lucky, like I did. Uh, so like just don't give up, I guess, is the moral of the story because it worked somehow. And then if this like ends the way I want it to end, then we're good. Like if I throw down a flat piece here, yeah, all right, we're good. I'll take I'll run this like that, and then that, and that, and throw down that, that, and that, so that it continues the angle and then curves back down like I want it to. So yeah, this is luck at this point, but it's working out great. I just realized you guys probably can't see the color that I'm working in, so we'll go bright pink. Uh, I want this to be somewhat strong, so we're gonna throw in a 2 by 16, like so-ish, and the back of it right there has to be smooth, and then this part above there accepts studs. So we are going to make a group and then hide it so that I can see all the bricks below it so that I can connect everything as it should connect. Yeah, all right, that feels a little too fat for me. I want to keep these 2 studs because this up here, and then I want to get this angle in here. Um, I don't think this angle is going to be able to be achieved with slope pieces, unless I turn these upside down and use those, which I don't want to do. So I'll take and do that like so. I go to say that's too little of an angle, and that's more like the angle. Shell ejection port. Then for this curve coming down here, we'll use these pieces. Um, Star Wars is one of my favorite movies, but it's not limited to just the movies. I'm really big into Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the animated series, both of them, because there was two. There was a 2005 version, and then the one that came out in 2008, which is the bigger one that everyone knows about. Um, both of them are pretty good, and I'd say that the 2008 version goes into a lot of the lore behind everything, and it makes some of the things that aren't canon, like Darth Bane. And then Revan was supposed to be in it as well, but he wasn't, which is kind of upsetting because Revan's one of my favorites from the Old Republic. But Star Wars is, I like Star Wars. I like Star Wars a lot. Um, it's it was something that I grew up with, I guess is the best way to put it. And there's so much to the world itself that you can do a lot with it. Like there's pretty much books from every genre that are written in the Star Wars universe. Like there's books about the zombie apocalypse in Star Wars. There's books about Jedi who have turned Sith. There's stories about Sith who have turned Jedi. There's all sorts of different just like universes and stories about it. Um, so yeah, Star Wars is one of my favorite movies. It's not my favorite movie. In fact, I don't think I could tell you my favorite movie because I just don't think I could think of one well enough. Oh, that's a really nice angle actually. I really like that angle, but it just goes too far down. Like if they cut this one shorter, I'd be so happy. Damn it. Um, yeah, this is difficult. Oh man. Would I ever make guns from Titanfall? Uh, maybe. I played Titanfall for literally a day. Like I bought the game new. I got home. I played it for a day on my Xbox 360, and then I never went back to it. At the time, I was playing on a really, really small TV, and I couldn't see like any of the texts for the weapons and stuff, like the weapon challenges or anything on that small of a TV. So I wasn't progressing in the game like I should have been. Um, because I'm a decent player at for FPSs. Like if you guys have ever seen me live stream Black Ops 3 or anything like that, you know that I'm a decent player when it comes to FPSs. So I got really frustrated with the game based on that, and because I got frustrated, I didn't want to play it anymore. And since I didn't play it anymore, I obviously I never got into it as big as I should have. It's not that it's a bad game, because it was a pretty good game. I actually had fun playing it. It had really, really smooth wall running. It was the first to introduce wall running, the first FPS to introduce wall running, whereas like Advanced Warfare came out after that, and then Black Ops 3 obviously just came out a little while ago. But as for doing guns from it, it it's kind of difficult because some of the guns are they have really weird designs to it. In particular, like the weird revolver that opens up kind of differently. The way it locks the revolver is just weird. Um, I wouldn't mind doing it as a challenge, but if you guys have ever heard of Nick Brick, he's done like really, really good Titanfall weapons, and that kind of puts a lot of pressure on me to do really good Titanfall weapons, um, which is a problem. It's hard to compete in the Lego gun scene when there's Nick Brick and Zatinamis and Imdun because they take like a huge portion of the subscriber base and whatnot. Which it's not a bad thing, but it's kind of like having a monopoly basically, which kind of sucks when you're a smaller YouTube channel like I am. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, Ranger, uh, because we're both pretty small compared to Zatsunami's, Mdun, or Nick Brick. COD did take a lot from it because the people who developed COD, Treyarch, Activision, Sledgehammer, they basically they saw the success of Titanfall and picked up what Titanfall didn't execute correctly. So, in particular, the campaign for Titanfall was very, very bad. Um, there was very minimal campaign, and even then, it was online campaign, which is not a good thing. The game should not have shipped with the campaign at all. That would have fixed part of the issue right then and there. COD took the weaknesses of the game, basically. That's the point. Turned them into strengths of the game. So they picked up the weaknesses, like the campaign, took the fundamental wall running abilities and whatnot, and then brought that into the COD theme and gave it like a strong nurture, basically. Took the weaknesses, made them stronger, and then brought it into COD, and that's where things got better. I like all of them pretty much equally. I wouldn't say that I like any of them better. If I had to say that I liked any of them better, it'd be Nick Brick because he gets the details so accurate. It's ridiculous how well he can do the details on most of his weapons. Um, Imdun's getting a lot better. I think he's gone around the community and seen a lot of what the other Lego builders are putting together in terms of like all the functions. Like the working magazine releases are the probably the biggest one. And I think he's finally understood that there's been a big push towards detail plus functionality. So I think he's just now starting to get into that. Like you've seen recently, his STG-44 has the working magazine release in it, the UMP-45, the Papa Shuk uh, SMG from Russia. Like they've all had working magazine releases, and those have been hitting most of his recent guns. So I think he's slowly starting to realize that people want that, and now that he's realizing that, he's going to grow as a much stronger Lego builder, basically. Because doing working features in like such small, I just opened up Windows Movie Maker. Doing features like that in like a small package is a good thing to challenge how the builder uh, perceives certain pieces. Like some gun builders would have never done what I did back here. That's just it's ridiculous. Some people don't think about it like that. Um, so doing something like that was just off the wall different. It's something that you don't usually see in the Lego gun community. The Lego gun community is really, really small. There's like a certain amount of really, really big YouTubers who take up a huge portion of it, and then after that, no one really goes out and looks for anything else. I guess it also depends on what kind of weapons you build, because I build weapons for functionality in terms like close to the real thing, but I don't make them shoot. I don't like shooting guns, so that's a big portion of it as well. Um, People who make guns that shoot have like another corner of the market basically, is a good way to put it. Eyes are reaching. Sorry. I gotta rub it with my right hand because it's my right eye. I don't know why, I just do. Um, so my right hand, I'm right-handed, so I use the mouse with the right hand. So I had to lift my hand away from the mouse in order to rub my eye. Uh, that fire selector is going to be an issue. I just realized. The good news is it's not ambidextrous, so it's got to go up here somewhere though. Um, yeah, somewhere over here basically. So that and that I think are going to be deleted, and I'll throw that in there, and I'll go ahead and I'll close up everything. I just completely forgot about it. Just like I got onto a roll, just talking about things and whatnot. The shape is also going to be really difficult to do. What do you like, or why do you dislike Imdun? Like, what's wrong with Imdun? I'm not gonna like hate on you or anything like that. I just really want to know. Um, I've played CS:GO before, but I'm not really big into the game because first off, I'm really bad at it, and there's a huge, huge learning curve. I like to be able to aim with weapons, which is why I'm not really big into Halo. I like the ADS, like a real gun, because I've shot real guns before and I've played with airsoft guns before. So to me, being able to aim down sights just is part of the experience. So like Halo, I know Halo 5 you can ADS, and I have Halo 5, and I played it for all of like a day, and then I never played it again. But CS:GO and Halo just didn't do anything good for me because I couldn't aim down the sights basically. Uh, the problem with shooting guns though is that they're really weak. A lot of times they don't go far. Um, Obviously you have people like Infected Bear who have really high-powered rubber band guns and stuff that shoot through CD disc and whatnot. But then you're putting a huge, enormous amount of stress on your Lego pieces, and I love Legos too much to do something like that. So I get kind of sad when I see people doing stuff like that. Yeah, I could I could see what you're talking about with the smooth tiles because taking like one look at this receiver, you couldn't really tell it's made out of Legos because you can't see any exposed studs. And it looks really clean. Um, which is something that I go for. Like this is an older model, and even then you can't see much exposed studs. Obviously like along here, here, and here you can see exposed studs, but in terms of the newer models that I've been making, there isn't much exposed studs. So I can see what you're talking about. It's obviously made out of Legos. And some of his guns look pretty bad because I he doesn't have like the wide variety of pieces. I don't think he's ordered Lego pieces in a while. I think he just keeps reusing the same ones over and over again, which is somewhat of an issue because then you don't get some of the newer pieces like these pieces right here that I'm using are new pieces that just came out. And if you don't have like any of those, you keep limiting yourself to the amount of pieces that you're using, which is a bad thing. You don't want to limit yourself to the amount of pieces you're using because um, messing with like all these different lines that I'm trying to do here, like this is difficult. This is going to be hard. I really don't know how I'm going to do this. So it's a challenge to me, and now that it's a challenge to me, it's fun. And when it's fun like that, we're good. It's supposed to be fun. Lego building is supposed to be fun. So the more challenging it is to me, the more fun it is, basically. So this angle's gonna kill me. Um, did not mean to delete that. What if I took in... Ooh, what was that? I didn't see these before. Those might help me. Those might help me. Um, I'm thinking a little bit too linearly is a good way to put it. If I take one of... Where's it at? Probably scrolled over it like 1,000 times by now. Unless they moved it. They might have moved it. Could have sworn it was in here though. Yeah, there it is. All right, yeah, I kept scrolling over it. So I have a hollow space on the inside. So what if we took and use these pieces? That's the wrong piece. This piece, this piece, and put that so that it was flush like that. So it's gonna pivot on that piece there. Okay, so that was a big thing to me, Ranger. Like I understand what you're talking about. I There was a point in time in my life where I did exactly what you did. I did not tell people that this was my job that I did for a living because I was afraid that people would make fun of me for playing with Legos at the age that I am. I'm 19 and I go to college right now. I'm in college. And as a 19-year-old, you would expect people to look at you very disdainly when you tell them that you play with Legos and you're 19 and in college. Um, so a lot of times I wouldn't tell people, just like you aren't. And then I kind of uh, I don't want to say grew up, but I reached the age in which I learned that it's what I like to do. I get money off of it. It's my job. And because I have fun doing it, I'm not going to let other people stand in my way um, about it. I'm very vocal about it in college, and I would say that college is the good place to be vocal about it because people in college are way more understanding than people in middle school or high school. I'm going to assume that you're in high school um, because I want to say that I'm one of the older ones in the Lego gun community. Um, the big thing about it is if they start making fun of you, you're gonna have to stand up for yourself when you do come around to telling them. I'm not saying that you need to go out and you need to kick someone's ass for being a bully about what you like to do with your life and what you want to do with your life, but tell them like this is what you like to do. Um, you're good at it, and because you're good at it, it might lead to other opportunities. For example, like a lot of people will get scouted by Lego to come work at Lego by showing prowess with what they build. Um, so you might get an opportunity to go work with Lego because you've been playing with Legos for so long, for example, is basically what I'm trying to say. Um, it's I understand because I've been in the same boat that you are. I just didn't want to tell people. I have been made fun of before in middle school when I lived in Tennessee. I lived in a pretty small town, Maynardville. I've said this before whenever I was talking to the guy from Bulgaria. Um, but in middle school, they weren't really respectful, and because they weren't really respectful, they didn't understand that it's what I like to do, and I'm good at it. So it made me feel bad, and I'll tell you, it did make me want to quit. And there was a point in time where I was just like, okay, I need to grow up. I need to stop playing with Legos. And then I came across like a lot of people in the community that are way older than me, like my dad's age. My dad is 45. There are people that are 45 and up that are playing with Legos, and they're making some really, really cool things. Like they've made one of like the world's fastest Rubik cube solvers out of Legos before. Great ball contraptions are really cool to see. There's all sorts of Lego creations in the community made by people like way older than us. So yeah, you're all right. So yeah, you're in high school. Yeah, people in high school are they're not. God damn it, I'll move this over. People in high school don't understand. I guess is the best way to put it. Um, they're not open-minded about certain things, which is why I like going to college. One of the classes that I was required to take in college is SPC 1608. That's speech 1608. It'll have different codes throughout whichever college you go to, but speech is basically required for any degree that you go to. So if you ever go into college, have fun taking speech. It's a good class. And uh, my speech class, I had to be very open about what I did because most of the speech topics that I did involved my personal life. And I started when you're first taught speech, you're taught that when you have smiles and nods on people's faces in the audience, then you're doing something right. And when I first said that I played with Legos as my job, basically, I all I got in the audience was smile and nods. And that was because I knew that people who were older understood that that's what I like to do, and that's how I made my money. Um, so that's a part of it. Yeah, that is true. Lego will not make guns because there are kids. Um, that's a big part to it. I'm not saying that Lego will ever make guns, but I'm saying that if you show the prowess with Lego techniques like what I did back here, like the turning all these bricks sideways to get this angle here, doing the connection back here, doing all that. If you show proficiency with the bricks between that and then doing some other things, Lego could scout you to come work for them to do other things basically. So even though I might not be making guns for Lego, I'll still be working for Lego, and that's pretty cool. Um, yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to make this fire selector. This is obviously like a very skinny fire selector. I don't want it to be sticking out like this is up here. Like it's obviously gonna have to be plate built sideways, which is kind of difficult to do. This is the piece that I want to use because it makes sense because that's the angle going down and whatnot right here. But this coming out is kind of weird to do. Taking university field trips is good. I want you like from a college student to a high school student, I want you to get exposed to as many universities as you possibly can. Because I tell you right now, I never went to a university, so my first day at the college that I go to was a huge kick in my ass because it was like just a shock because of how different it is. Um, as a place, you just you're not expecting it at first, and then when you're first exposed to it, it's just like, wow, this is a college. This is different from what I'm used to. So the more that you're exposed to it, the better, basically, is what I'm getting at. This is kind of difficult. This it's kind of kicking my ass, to be honest. This is a hard design. Let's go back to seeing if we can use these types of plates. Because there are new plates. Like these are completely new plates right here. This is a new plate down here. That's a new plate. That's a new plate. Oh man, I'm yawning. So yeah. Um, what if we go? What if instead I go the other uh way? Like I go down like this, and I'll start going this way rather than going that way. And we'll see how far we get. 'Kay, it overhangs the grip right here just a little bit, so that's good. Um, I kind of want to take it from two studs down to one stud, so yeah, this is a hard design. Hello, Luke Sultan. My eyes are kind of bad, so I had to zoom in with them. Look, um, Legos are an art form. In case you have ever seen this guy right here is really good with Lego art sculptures. I don't know why it's taking forever to load. Um, he does really cool Lego art sculptures. This is one of them. This is probably my favorite out of all of them because it's really interesting. Um, here's another one. So this is an art form. This can be art. So if you think about it like that, then yeah, it works out pretty good. Um, your if your family tells you that it's dumb and you shouldn't be doing it, they're wrong. Um, I know you're supposed to love your family and everything, but your family is always supposed to support you no matter what you decide to do with your life. So if they ever tell you that you need to stop playing with it and that you need to grow up, just ignore them. Um, it doesn't sound like they're doing that, and I'm not saying that they're doing that, but if they ever start to, just don't listen to them. Basically, is what I'm getting at. Um, I've had a girlfriend in the past who I did tell, and she thought it was kind of childish. And that was a girlfriend in the past is the key word there. I basically left her behind. I understood that this is what I wanted to do with my life. This is something that's going to stick with me for a very, very long time. And I understand that it's the way of the future. Like you can do many things with Lego bricks. You can turn them into anything that you want them to be, basically. So if she wasn't gonna support me in my endeavors as a Lego gun builder, then she wasn't going to be a part of my life, basically. So that's how that happened, basically. I did. I took pictures and put them on Facebook um, a while back, like a long time ago. The issue with me doing that is they weren't good models to be putting on Facebook to begin with. This is like when I was really, really just now starting at building like Lego guns. So I got embarrassed when went back and like I looked at them and I was like, ooh, like those aren't good models at all. Why are these even on Facebook? I need to get rid of these, and then ended up deleting them. That's the only problem that I have with uploading them to Facebook. You felt bad when your girlfriend dumped you? Luke, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? Um, so that I know who I'm talking to and I can gauge how much good this life advice that I might drop on you is going to be. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. I know privacy is a thing and whatnot, so if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. Okay. Um, I've seen this video. At the beginning of the stream, I actually looked up the video. You're nearly 13, so you're pretty old enough to talk about or talk to about this type of stuff. When a girlfriend dumps you, just don't even worry about it. Love is a very young game, basically. Like, what I mean by that is you don't have to be in a relationship all the time. Um, you can be in and out of relationship. You don't need it to live. Um, what I'm trying to say is don't worry about if a girl dumps you. Just move on, basically, and find someone better. Because if the girl dumps you, then it's obvious she just she's not the right one, basically. So you move on to hopefully something who is the right one. And when you move on, don't forget who you've dated in the past, but use whatever you learn from that person to guide the choices that you make in the next relationship. So, like for instance, at one point in time, I was really bad at brushing my teeth, and one of my girlfriends broke up with me because I had bad breath. So now I'm no longer bad at brushing my teeth. So just like, if you want to learn something from your girlfriends who break up with you, instead of being sad, just learn your lesson and move on. You have no idea how true that statement is. That's a really true statement. It's unfortunate because a lot of people will fall in love with people that they think are like the perfect ones, and then it turns out that they aren't the perfect ones, and that really sucks. I've been there and I've done that. I've done it 3 times before, so I understand. Trust me. But I've moved on from all of those, and I've come back stronger, and I've come back smarter, and that's the big thing that you want to do. You want to be able to come back stronger and smarter. Um, if you can do that, then you're doing good. Um, there isn't a day that goes by when I'm not thinking about at least one of them, but I'm not going to obsess over it, I guess is the word for it. Like I said before, like just learn from it, move on, and become stronger, and then you're good to go. Of 1 by 1 bricks. Oh man, those damn things are so weak. I very rarely ever use 1 by 1 bricks, and when I do, it's because I'm like forced to use them in the model. I think that's as close as I'm gonna get this fire selector to be. So I will leave it like that for now. Um, I really need to do the grip. I shouldn't neglect it as much as I already have. So, in order to do the grip, I'm going to delete that. Uh, Instead of deleting this group, I'll go ahead and I'll add it to my templates, and then I'll delete this group. Yes. And then I'll delete all those pieces, and then I'm going to color change this over to this color, and remove that from that group, hide that group, make this into its own group and hide it so that I can see where I'm working down here at the bottom. I will check it out later. I'm trying to get this done because it's 3:50 in the morning, so I do need to get to sleep soon enough. But Mega Bloks Halo, I've played with Mega Bloks Halo before. I've gotten one set for Christmas. I got the not the Pelican, but I want to say like the Falcon, I think. Um, it's not a bad thing in terms of playability. It's got pretty good playability too because they don't limit themselves to the like the minifigs standard basically, which is cool. I like that they're not limiting uh, the, the the minifigs basically. I like that. The issue that I have with Mega Bloks is that they're just not built to the same quality that Legos are. And I also have more Legos than I do Mega Bloks. So that's just, I've always grown up with Legos more than I have Mega Bloks. My gosh. The hard part is that this is 5 studs, and I'm gonna take this down to 4 studs. Um, how am I going to do that? Well, I'll drop that going down like so, and grab that, run it down like so. No problem, Ranger. Um, I'm sociable if you're sociable back. It doesn't bother me. Um, because I'm older, I don't mean that to sound arrogantly at all. Because I'm older, I just have more life experience. Seriously though, I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm just telling you. Um, and I want other people to learn from my life experience because I've done some stupid things. Like right now, I'm peeling skin off of myself while I'm looking at this because I had sun poisoning, which is a horrible thing. Don't ever get sun poisoning. And I want to be able to tell people that sun poisoning is a horrible thing and that you shouldn't get it. So take and learn from me is a good way to say it. See, I wouldn't mind getting some of the COD Mega Block sets. The only issue is Legos and Mega Blocks are getting really expensive nowadays, which is why LDD is such a good thing, because it's free and I don't have to pay for anything. But it's just, they feel cheaper in my hand than Legos do, which is something that I don't like personally. I like to be able to feel quality in my hands when I pick it up. Is there something sticking out? Ah, yes, I see. Okay. I see. I really need to delete you as well. Yeah, LVD's been free the entire time it's been out. Um, it's that's what I liked about it all this time is because it's a really really good building program for the most part when it comes to using Legos. Uh, Plus it's free, so that's just that's the perks of it, to be honest. Um, and that is too high for this beam. Ah, but I could take and convert this beam over to one of these. The problem with LDD that a lot of people have is it's not user friendly at all. It took me a lot of time to get used to using LDD. And even then, I'm not the best at it. I've seen people do way more crazy things than I have with LDD as a program. So even though I'm this proficient at it and I'm able to do the things that I'm able to do with it, people have done way crazier things. You can still download LDD off of Lego's website, Ranger. Um, yeah, it's free. It's the reason I've been using it, because Legos are really expensive. So if they give you a free option that's basically the same exact thing, you might as well take advantage of it, which is basically what I ended up doing. Uh, the PP-2000 is a difficult gun to do because of all the curves and whatnot. Um, and like the most difficult parts will be this ridge here, and then this angle coming down here. Um, that's the reason a lot of people don't do the PP-2000. It's discouraging as a weapon. Um, and when people do the wow, when people do the PP-2000, a lot of times they just don't come out the way that they should because Lego it's such a difficult block to work with, basically. Um, a lot of times people get discouraged midway through the builds because Legos are just so difficult to work with. Obviously, this is a little too long. I'll go back and I'll thin that out later. Um, right now, I need to get one of these on the inside here, and then at the same angle so that these studs line up like so. It's about as close as I can get it. Oh God, I didn't mean to do that. I don't play Borderlands. I just got finished downloading Borderlands 1 today for the 360 on my Xbox One because it's backwards compatible. So I don't play it, but um, this thing that Nick Brick built. If you're building this, that's complicated. That seems like a lot of work. Uh, find a good image to work with. Uh, one of the problems would obviously be the angles of the magazine, the angles of the grip up here. Um, and that's about it. If you can figure out the angles of the magazines and making it strong, and then figuring out the angle of the grip and making that strong, then you should be fine. Um, yeah, if you can figure that out, you'll be fine. That's what I'm trying to get at. I don't know if that's like easy or not. Um, I've never really made a gun with a not angled, but with a magazine well that's at an angle. Um, I'm working on it right now. My CUDA SMG is going to have a magazine well with an angle like that. But the problem with doing something like that is that it just takes forever to reinforce everything and get it done correctly. I don't play on 360 anymore, unfortunately. Um, the the deal was in the family basically that the second I got my 360 or my Xbox One, the 360 would go to my sister and she would play it. So she plays on my account on the 360 and then I just play on the Xbox One. I haven't played my 360 in forever. I wouldn't mind playing it again because I don't like running backwards compatibility on my Xbox One. The only issue is she just won't give me my Xbox or my 360 back. So that is the problem. My gamer tag is out there in the open, so people already know what it is, so you don't have to worry about uh, like trying to keep it secret or anything like that. Because it's technically in all the like the videos that I do, uploading like Xbox clips and stuff. It's already in there. So the problem here is that I can't have a stud clashing, but I gotta get the gap closed there. And this piece is technically too far back, which I think I can fix. Yeah, that's better. All right, that's where it should be. I used to play a lot of PlayStation 2. Um, I was kind of behind the time. Like, all right, I'm not exactly the richest. I'm not in the richest of families. A lot of times I play on like really old systems. Um, the most recent uh, like handheld that I have is the Nintendo DS Lite, like one of the like original Nintendo DS's too, like not one of the new ones. Um, and the only reason I have that one is because a friend of mine in Tennessee gave it to me as a going away gift because he had just gotten one of the newer ones, the new XL ones. So I got his old one as a going away gift, which was really nice of him, and I still have it. And we don't talk anymore because of just all sorts of personal reasons. But it was like a really nice gesture. I still have it. I still play it too. I play Pokemon on it all the time. But yeah, I was really behind the times on a lot of things. Um, I had a PlayStation 2 for the longest of times. I'm talking about a good like the Xbox. the original Xbox was out and I was still playing on PlayStation 2. I played the original Battlefronts, or both Battlefronts because it was backwards compatible on PlayStation 2. I played both Battlefronts so much on the original PlayStation, it's not even funny. I played it so much that I scratched the disc to the point where I couldn't play it anymore. And then I bought it on PC, and now I play it on PC all the time, but that's besides the point. I played Guitar Hero all the time on PlayStation 2. I'd even play with um, the guitar. I played with the controller. I like Nintendo for Pokemon, and that's about it. Really nothing else. Um, some of the new stuff that they're coming out with is revolutionary in my opinion. Like I'd say the 3DS, even though it's a gimmick right now, I think if they get all the kinks and stuff worked out of it, and like all the problems that they're having with it, I think it'll turn into like one of the coolest uh, things of our generation, basically. What do I think about Bakker? Bakker's a good friend of mine. We talk we talk all the time, basically. Um, he does really good weapons. He's getting really good at it. He started out like when he was younger, he made really bad weapons, and I'm not afraid to admit that because he knows it. He'll admit it himself. And then he like grew up into it, I guess is a good way to put it. He just started getting really good. The more experience you have, the better you get, and that's basically what happened to him. He's getting better at it, is the best way to put it. So I'm waiting on the point that he gets to Nick Brick levels, which will be happening soon, because he's getting really good. So he makes good guns. He makes really good CS:GO knives as well. That's probably like what his what he's best at. And I have a lot of respect for people who can make CS:GO knives out of Legos because it is really difficult. Like, okay, he's not on here. He's in my subscription feed. I don't want to use my live stream page to look him up. I know pretty much every Lego gun builder. I've talked to every single small Lego gun builder aside from the bigger ones. Like I haven't talked to M Done. I've never talked to Zati Namis, and I've actually talked to uh, what's his name? Damn, I keep forgetting. I've talked to Nick Brick before. I have talked to Nick Brick. He actually gave me advice a couple days ago on something. So I know pretty much every Lego gun builder in the community on a personal level. He makes really, really good skins for CSGO weapons. Like this is one of my favorites. He did a really good job here. He makes anime weapons, and I'm a huge anime fan, so that's pretty cool. And then his Lego knives from Counter-Strike Global Offensive are really, really good. And it's really difficult to do Lego knives because of all the blades and stuff. So that's pretty good. If you don't know what guns to make anymore, I'd recommend using whenever it pops up this website right here. This is a Russian website that's translated over to English, and it has all these categories of weapons, and you can choose whatever category you want. So I'll go submachine gun. And then it'll give you a brief history, and then over here on the side, it gives you every weapon that they have cataloged based off of country. So I really like H and K MP5s. So I can go MP5 or MP5K, click on it, and then it'll give me information about it. So here's one of the prototypes with the straight stick mags, and then it goes through some of the different lineages of it, and then gives you some information about it. And there's guns on here that I've never even heard of before, so you might be able to find something on there for inspiration. Um, I'll check out your channel later. Like I said, I'm trying to figure this out. Do I have a Steam account? I did. I don't use it anymore, so I just I don't give it out to people because it's not like I'm gonna respond. So yeah. Um, I just don't play on PC as much as I should. And when I do play on PC, it's not off of Steam. Basically, I'm using CDs and the port itself. Sorry if I'm being a little quiet. I'm just running through everything right now. This is where it's going to get really difficult because I can already tell you that this is way too much of an angle, and I'm going to have to try to correct how much of an angle this is using bricks, and that's going to be difficult. So I'm going to have to like come down the back so that it's still at an angle, but it's not that much of an angle. Trying to think of how to do this. Yeah, I'm trying, Ranger. It's an awkward thing to do. Like I want a four stud wide mag because it's a 9 millimeter, and most 9 millimeter Lego magazines are obviously four studs, but this type of design just goes really, really good with a three stud mag well instead of a four stud. I, I'll slope it, but the problem is this is too much of an angle. Like this is this is like a very, very subtle type of angle, whereas this is a very, very noticeable angle. Like I'll probably do, but the grip ends at this curve right here, so it technically shouldn't go beyond this point. So if it can't go beyond that point, then I have to move that piece inward. So now I'm taking up even more room inside of the mag well. What do I think about Christopher Hotman? He is one of the better gun builders in the community. He is really, really good. Um, I've built his CZ75 uh, and did my own modifications to it. Um, as for the functionality, I think he's on point with everything that he's trying to do. Um, there's like a few spots that he needs improvement on in terms of the color coordination, which he's already started to improve on. He's already bought pieces. That's something that I don't usually mark people off for, but it gets distracting on such good weapons like that. So he started to um, buy more color coded pieces and whatnot. So he's able to start color coding more. Um, he's like the forefront leader on doing like actual hammers inside of the weapon, so that when you pull the trigger, you hear the hammer hit the back of the boat, and then when you pull the bolt, it resets the hammer. It's like really cool stuff. I'm like really excited to see what he has to build. So he's a pretty good Lego builder. Um, he does a lot of things that I didn't think were possible with Lego, and I think that's like the mark of someone who's really, really proficient with Legos, is when they start doing things that you thought wasn't possible. Uh, do I like hot sauce? No, I don't. In particular, I don't like spicy things. Um, so deliberately making something spicier is not my favorite thing to do in life, basically. Um, the, it's not that I don't like spicy things because it's spicy. It's because if you eat something that's too spicy for your body to handle, there is the potential that you will die from it. Your throat will close up. It's not the most pleasant of ways to die either. So I just I make it a point to avoid spicy things because I'd rather not die from spicy foods. So that's the reason I don't like hot sauce. Uh, if I go to a form of chicken place, like Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, I'll buy a spicy chicken sandwich, but that's about the only thing I think I'll ever eat deliberately spicy. Um, you'll never catch me at a what's it called? Um, like a spicy chili competition. You'll never catch me at one of those. That's a huge no-no. Um, I don't think so. You'll never see me eat a ghost pepper in my life. That's another no-no. It's just I think it's dumb to basically put your life on the line like that. So I'm not going to do it. What do I think about Bricks and Guns? I know him too. I talked to him personally too. I actually know his next project, but I don't know if he doesn't want me to spoil it or not, so I'm not gonna say it on stream. Um, he's pretty good. He's a combination. Well, the best way to describe Bricks and Guns is he's like Nick Brick. He's really good at doing details and all, but there's like certain functionalities that he's lacking in. And I know him, so I know he'll probably see this and he'll agree with me is the best way to put it. I know he probably knows that, and I know he's probably working on that, and that's why he's going to be a good Lego builder one day. Another portion of becoming a good Lego builder is understanding your flaws and then working with them so that you become uh, you learn from them is the best way to put it. So you sit down with yourself and you tell yourself like, what can I do better? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? Is this technique working out for me? Is this technique not working out for me? Can I use it more? Can I use it less? Things like that. Do I like Undertale? Uh, I've never played it, so I'll go ahead and say that I don't have the best of opinions about it because I've never played a game, I can't give you a really good opinion about it. I do like the Mother series though, and Undertale is widely believed to be basically just a continuation of the Mother series. In particular, like the theory about who Sans actually is, like the game theory really goes over it better than I can. I would, I'd go to say that I probably would like it if I go and play it. I probably would. The issue is I don't have time to play it. Um, I'm real busy doing other things. So that's like the primary issue that I have with trying to play uh, games in particular is just when you get busy, you're just not able to do the same types of stuff that you used to be able to do. I don't like all of this up here. This is not looking okay at all. That's a tad bit better. I closed it off to the best of my abilities. So it is that's better. This circle is going to be hard to do. I can tell you that already. And I open up Dropbox again. I should probably delete it off of my pinned home. Can I do that? Okay. Okay. I can't get rid of Edge. Why can't I unpin Edge? That sucks. Damn it. No one even uses Microsoft Edge. Like, Microsoft should just really stop trying to make web browsers because no one ever uses them because they're just bad. I need something with a circle in it, but not like these smalls of circle. Something bigger, like a window. Is there a window piece that I could use? I gotta say that one's too ovally. Is there an arch piece I could use? I know what piece I could use. Yup. Just like that. Oh yeah, alright, that's good. I like that. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it 3 studs wide. I kind of want to, but it's kind of difficult to do that way. How did I pull what off, Ranger? Thanks, Luke. It means a lot to me. It means I'm actually like doing what I'm supposed to be doing, except like goodly, or better, goodly. I don't even know the word for it now. Oh, if I just take in use a, where are you at? This piece, and grab this piece, then I can make a 3 stud wide trigger guard and a magwell and whatnot. And to make it look kind of connected, you can use those. Nah, I won't use those pieces. I'll use those pieces to make it. Okay, so the circle, I was thinking to myself, what can I use that just makes it look circlish? So I thought of using the arch pieces and things like that, but the thing is, Lego pieces, you don't have to think so linearly. And since this is turned the way it is with the studs on the side, then I can use these pieces. Um, the big thing is to just have like a database of bricks in the back of your head at all times so that if you have a certain shape in your head about like what you want to do, think about all the bricks that can make that shape and then think about which ones are the best ones to use. Find them, see if they'll work or not, and then if they do work, you're good. If they don't work, just kind of like continue on doing what you're doing until you find a piece that actually works. Yeah, uh, you, it's a lot of trial and error. I'm honestly surprised that I got it that quickly, though. Chances are it probably would have taken me a lot longer if I hadn't thought about it as quickly as I had. There's usually not a piece that you would use in a Lego gun build, so why am I using these weird bricks when I have these bricks to use? So then it's a much nicer curve. Yeah, that's better. I think that's a little too thin. I haven't been talking in a long time. Um, and if I turn up the mic volume, you might hear the ceiling fan that I have going because it's on full blast. It's on hurricane mode basically, um, which is a problem. I don't want to like make you guys go deaf or anything like that. Um, I knew I would have said that I wanted to. The I know I wanted. I said that I wanted this to um, slope down the four studs, but I don't. I don't think I'll be doing that. Of the Lego model right now, a little bit. Uh, it's not perfect because of the size constraints that I'm having issues with, obviously. Because it's not. Um, it's Legos. It's hard to get the like perfect angle, basically. It's easier to build it straight up and down, but there's no challenge in building it straight up and down. So if you're asking about like the real life model, like the real steel firearm, then yeah, I like the grip design. But the Lego model that I'm dealing with right now, not so much. Oh man. Oh gosh. My right eye is bothering me. Starting to act up. Um, what does orange mean? Oh, okay. I don't think I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for commenting and talking to me and things like that. Um, oh God, oh God, oh God. Save. Good. Um, that's not good. Which brick was removed? Great. Whatever. Um, since I'm gonna end the stream and you guys stuck around basically the entire time, um, and all three of you are still watching, basically like three of you were here for 2 hours. Um, I might as well show you guys a sneak peek of the CUDA, which is one of the next models coming out. This was the lower receiver design that I'm working with as of right now. Um, so yeah, 5 studs, 4 studs, 2 studs, and then 5 stud magwell, and all sorts of weird things and stuff like that. So that's your little reward for checking out my stream and staying here for the entire time. So thank you guys so much. Sweet. So yeah, Luke, I'm here. I see you have an M done contest entry. Sweet. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch some of your videos uh, as I'm going to sleep. So uh, I'll see you guys later. Thanks so much for watching everything and whatnot, and see you around tomorrow sometime.